Hello everybody and welcome to the Shadows Reign YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over my old tier list, making sure it's now in the right order with all the patches, the nerfs, etc, etc, and also putting in some new weapons which have come out since the video. So if you do enjoy this video, please make sure that you hit that like button and consider subscribing. Remember, this is an opinion piece. You are not going to agree with everything in here, but let me know what you do agree with and what you don't agree with in the comment section below. Remember, be nice. Let's cue the title card. So yeah, let's go right into it. We're just gonna have a little look to see what we've got already. So you can see that I had the FAL up here, so you can tell that this was around the time that, you know, the FAL was just killing people insta-melting. So that was really good. We had the Bruin up here as well. Yeah, when I had the Uzi in here, I've got the AE rounds on here, so that's all good too. So let's just basically talk about it and just go through where everything is now. I'll go through all the guns and I'll put them in where I think they are now, and then we'll take it from there. Now, if a weapon is on the left side of the tier, that means it's the best side of great. So things on the right, or like the bottom, if it's on 2 rows, will be the worst areas of that. So this is a high A, this is a low A. Now with that being said, let's start from the top. God tier. So we've got the FAL. Now that, as you know, got a nerf buff. So the headshot damage is a lot higher, but its actual body shot damage went from 78 to 58. So that basically means it's, well, a bit useless if you're not going for the head. Now the problem with that is, if you're going to be going for the headshots, you might as well be going for the EBR or the SKS, which is going to drop people just as quick, if not quicker. So yeah, this is going to get dragged back down to the good tier, and I think it sits about there. That's where the FAL now sits. So that is one massive drop from God tier, S tier to B tier. So yeah, next we've got the HDR. The HDR is always been a little bit of a powerhouse. They're not as sought after as much as the were with the marksman rifles getting a buff, but it's still good. I would still say it was a really decent weapon. Though not the best weapon in the game, it's still really good. It's going to lie there. Now, the M4A1. If you put the SOCOM rounds on this weapon, it is easily God tier. Quite easily God tier. However, taking in consideration that it has the normal variant as well, it's still a really good gun, really strong gun, and still an S tier. But remember, this is like a Season 0 gun. The only reason that you don't see loads of it now is because a lot of people were using it like at the start and got bored of it and started picking up other guns. But this gun is still a powerhouse, and don't disrespect its SOCOM rounds or its normal rounds. You can disrespect its 9mm rounds. Use it for a bit, it's good, but I'd literally rather have any other SMG. Then we have the Bruin. The Bruin got a bit of a nerf, as we all know. So now it's got more recoil when you use the 60-round mag attachment. But that's fine. It's still a really good LMG. And if you do use the 100 round mag, it's still a really strong LMG. A lot of people have sent it all the way down here, but I still actually think it's really strong. However, it's not God tier anymore. And that's going to go probably in the middle of A tier, I reckon. Yeah, that's where that lives. Now, just proof from the video that I made yesterday that I was using shotguns before they became popular in Season 5. Here's my proof. This is already up here. This shotgun is already up here in the S tier. So, yeah, it's a really good shotgun, and I really do enjoy using the shotgun. So, yeah. RPG, I've not seen them as much anymore. That's going to be coming down to A. I don't know whereabouts in A. I'd say probably is about no, I'd say about there. So yeah, Uzi with the AE rounds, still a really top pick and surprisingly powerful. Don't necessarily need the AE rounds on it for close range encounters, but if you want to use it as a submachine gun which has that AR kind of range, AE rounds is a brilliant solution for that. Now we also have the MP5. MP5, yeah, I think I was wrong to give this a grade A. I think it should have been an S. I do think it is better than the Uzi, but not by much. If you consider that you use it in its effective ranges. Now we're going to go into the A tier, the great tier. So here we have got the AX50. AX50 I still think is an A grade weapon. I still think it's really good. I still think it's, you know, I still think it's really strong. But I don't think it's as strong as the other guns now. Just purely because nothing's changed, but people are still going to be using that God tier HDR, and the only thing that this has is a little tiny bit of mobility, but the car has that, and you need them headshots to be instant dropping anyway, and we'll get onto the car later on. That's going to be moving, but yes, that's kind of where I stand with that. PKM is still a brilliant weapon. It still deserves to be in the A tier. Not that many people use it, but it is good. I still don't think it's as good as a Bruin, so yeah, that will be getting moved down in the A tier, but it's still going to remain in the A tier. Next we've got the AUG, the AUG. That stays put. Nothing really much to say about that. Broom we've already moved. RAM, very happy with where the RAM is at the moment, but it is going to get a slight shift down, and we'll go into that why later on. Then we got the EBR. EBR is actually a bit of a better gun to use now. You're thinking, whoa, hang on, you've got the EBR at the top of A tier. EBR nearly in the top bracket of weaponry. Yes, it got that massive range boost. Now, if you get one tap to the head, you are slicing their armor in bits. If someone on your team with a sniper or any other marksman rifle has got just one shot in them, you will be dropping them instantly with a headshot with an EBR. That is huge. Absolutely huge. So that's just something for you to bear in mind with that. Please, if you haven't used it and you're going to give us grief in the comment section below, please use the gun first. Give it a chance. You won't regret it. It is a really strong pick, and it is one of the hidden giants in Warzone at the moment. Next we got the Scar. Scar, I think, is going to take a few steps back. It's going into B tier. It's not even that good of a B tier weapon. I don't know what I was thinking putting it in A. It is a really good weapon, but other guns have came out now which are better, faster and stronger. Some of those weapons are down here, but yeah, I just feel as if that's where it belongs. Next we are going to talk about the where was it? The Sterner P. This I still think is a really good weapon if you want to basically take a vehicle out quickly and you have a very predictable drop. Go for the Sterner P. It's a really good thing. It's not really good for people on the ground, but it's absolutely fantastic for vehicles, and people don't see it coming. So yeah, use that. People usually think they've got a chance to, get out of a helicopter before a rocket's fired. That they won't stand a chance. The Sterner P, that is. Model, I really dig the model. I think it's a fantastic shotgun. I'm going to keep it as a B tier weapon, but a strong end B tier weapon. The reason that I'm keeping it there is purely because of when you want to talk about the shotgun spectrum with a couple of other changes to a couple of other shotguns. It's a really good shotgun, but I don't think it's better than the other ones in the list that we'll be getting to later on. Obviously, it's still better than the likes of the 725. Where's the other one? There's another shotgun in there. But yes, that's where it belongs at this current point in time. Next we have the Odin. Odin is going to get a promotion, and it's going to get a promotion up to the A tier. The reason it's getting a promotion up to the A tier is because of the fact that the FAL's been nerfed, and a few of the stronger guns in the game at range have been nerfed, like the Bruin, Grouse, obviously the FAL itself. The reason that it's actually coming into here now is purely because now that no weapons are stupidly OP, this has a place to shine. It's not going to get outdamaged by a FAL at range. It's not going to get outdamaged by likes of a Bruin up close. This thing is going to shred. Now, you can't be using the Bruin as up close as much anymore, so you're going to be seeing it less often. It's given the Odin a fantastic opportunity to come and live its new life. And if you haven't tried that yet, you haven't put some points into it, put a double XP token on it, get it into multiplayer, or do whatever you need to get that gun ranked up, and trust me, it is worth your while. This gun pairs brilliantly with a shotgun or an SMG. So remember, you heard it here first, Odin is up there, and I will be doing some videos on that in the future. Actually, I've already recorded some, so oi there. Next we've got the AK. The AK is going to stay put. Really good gun. Limited though. Use it with that 40 round mag if you can. The 75 round mag is going to slow it down too much to the point where you might as well just be using that Bruin, which is going to kick harder. So yeah, after that is the M13. I think the M13 in a meta where everything's been a bit, a bit slaying down, it's going to get moved up into the A tier. So again, this isn't the gun getting buffed directly, it's other guns around it in its space getting nerfed, which is why it's getting promoted up to A tier. Next we have got the MP7. I'm still not a massive fan of the MP7, but I can't deny it is good at what it does, and it does occupy a certain place in the meta. So yeah, it's going to stay there. Scar we've already moved, Val we've already moved, Dragunov. Next up on the list is going to be the Dragunov. The Dragunov I've used a lot of lately, and I don't actually think it deserves to be this high up on the list, to be honest. The reason that I'm saying that is because it just seems really inaccurate. Like wherever I put that dot, that crosshair, the bullet just seems to fly off somewhere else like it's an old shotgun slug. So yeah, that is getting moved down to actually, yeah, it's going all the way down here. I'd rather use a crossbow. That's how bad the accuracy feels on that gun. So sorry if you love the Dragunov, but that's where it belongs. You might as well use an EBR and SKS if you want that kind of semi-automatic. And there is a new weapon in the game as well, well, not you anymore, which is going to do the exact same thing that's meant to do, but is doing it better. The Grau stays where it is. It is okay. It's not bad. It's not great. It's going to stay there, but it's probably going to be at the back end of this tier now. SKS with the buff, it is going to get a promotion to the high end of the A tier, the B tier, sorry. That's where it belongs. Now, after that, we've got the VLK Rogue. You can get Dragon's Breath rounds on it, but compared to where other shotguns now are in the meta, this is going to get moved down to meh. It's just where it belongs. Next up, we have got the Kilo. The Kilo is... it's very much the same. I see a lot of it being used lately, but it's actually really easy to counteract. You literally, if you get shot by it, you know it's a Kilo. Duck into cover, fully plate up, stand up and one-on-one that guy with whatever gun you've got. You're more than likely going to do more damage with him, unless you're using a Grau. The Grau probably might kill someone quicker, but you know, just keep using anything else over that. I don't rate the Kilo, much like the Grau when that was popular. I just don't rate it at all, and I have multiple reasons for not rating it at all. That's where it is staying. Next we have the SA-87, being picked up a lot more lately, but it's still met at best. It wants to be an assault rifle, but it just doesn't have the ability to compete with all of that. Next we've got the M91, I believe it is. Again, staying put. Now it's special. I don't really have, my opinions haven't really changed. MG34, again, an absolute powerhouse of a weapon. I have used this a bit more, and this does get moved up into the B tier if you can counteract that handling issue and that recoil issue that it does have. After that's the Holger. Holger's getting moved up to the high end of the C tier, just because it has had a few little adjustments and it is actually decent. Bison, not a massive fan, staying put. Deagle is staying put. The 725 is staying put, and the Car 98K. Haha! Well, I had some backlash about this one, didn't I? Now, I made the argument that if you want to be going for headshots at close range, you might as well just use an EBR, an SKS, or literally anything else. The reason I don't like it is because I think that the scope is weak. I think that even if you put the high power scope on, it is still weak. And you really need to be hitting them headshots. The problem is when you're using a sniper at mid-range, you're better off using something like an Origin, something like a Odin, something like a, not an Origin, Odin, something like an EBR, you know, literally anything else that can melt people. I don't like it, but after seeing other people in the A1A use it a bit more, it does get a promotion. But it's just at the higher tier of C. That's all I can give this gun. It's all I can give it. It's not good enough to be up here. It just isn't. And if you're going to be trying to pop people with headshots with a quicker rate of fire and decent-ish handling, there is another gun that will be taking that place, and the car just isn't it. Renetti's going to be staying put. However, it is going to be getting a promotion as well. Recently I have discovered the Akimbo Renetti, but in single fire mode. That does melt. Treated like someone in shotgun range, however. The reason that I'm going up that way is because if you do need a class to recovery to, so say for example you've come out the Gulag, you've picked up the class which has got fully loaded on the main weapon, this is a fantastic secondary. Is it as good as having a launcher? Not in every situation, no it's not, but it does melt up close to the next best thing to a shotgun you can have, and that does include the snake shots, so really good choice that one is. Now we're going to be moving into the bad tier. Joker is a lot of fun. That gets a promotion up to the C tier. Just a really, you know, there's a few more uses for it now that you can get more people on rooftops. Not more people are going to be on rooftops now. We're not going to be as contested, so it's a brilliant thing to lead. And you can pop that on top of a rooftop if you know someone's there. You can lock it onto someone's head directly if they're on top of a building and they do not see you. Only thing is, you're very invulnerable when using it. You're very exposed when using it, and yeah, once you do fight in the air at a vehicle, they have got forever and a day to get out of the vehicle and avoid the blast. They've even got time to get out of the vehicle, put a trophy on it, and get back in the vehicle by the time that lands on them. But really fun though if you want to be getting campers off roofs. Next, we are going to start with the X16. The reason that this pistol is here, now every weapon below this means I would rather use the pistol than use this. With that being said, the M16 is going to go here. I do like the M1911, they are actually a really strong pistol, but it's not like a super strong pistol or anything like that. P90 is going to go above them both, Striker's going to go above them both, but that's just where I see the pistol situation at the minute. Next is the crossbow. It's good, but it's very, very punishing if you miss, and it doesn't always kill people if you hit them, even with the explosive bolt. So for that high risk and high reward to be not a guaranteed kill, it's probably gonna be here, but it hurts putting the crossbow there, but I do think that's where it needs to be until every guaranteed shot, no matter where you hit them, is an instant kill. I've got a weapon which I've got to reload after one shot. It needs to be dropping people. This shotgun can drop people in 2 hits if you aim down sight and you're in a good range. This, I just don't like it. Dragunov, as we discussed, is here. Magnum, I'm not a massive fan of. This is arguably the worst bloody gun in the game. That's going to go there. Use a lot more of that. FAMAS I've used a bit more of, especially when that shotgun glitch was a thing of the undermount. If at that time it would have been here without a doubt, but it stays, it moves to here. Still the worst tier weapon you can pick up, but not as bad as I originally thought. Now, for the biggest jump in this video, we have got the R9 shotgun. The R9 shotgun with the Dragon's Breath adaptation is now going to move all the way up here. Yeah, whether it's better or worse than the Origin depends on you as a player. If you can hit your shots more consistently and you aim down sight when using the shotgun, the R9 is going to absolutely dominate. If you want to go into a room and fill it full of bookshot, you want to be using Origin. Personally, I like that little hint of that little moment of Dragon's Breath. I just think it's funny to use, so for me it goes up here. That's where it belongs. Yeah, and we do have a few more weapons to go over in that as well. Fearless stays the same, and that carbine obviously moves. Now, we've got some new weapons to go into. So we'll get rid of some of the ones that weren't on the other list. So Riot Shield, I would have it over a pistol. It's the right laugh, but it's still not brilliant. Just because in Warzone you can get shot by multiple angles, and that only guards you from one. However, team that up with a teammate, it's going to be melting people for days. Really enjoyable. I'm going to talk about the Rytek next. The reason, if the Rytek didn't get brought into the game, this car maybe gets into the B tier. But the Rytek is in the game, and I'm going to put it there. Oh my god, you've put the Rytek above the car. Are you mental? No, I'm not. The Rytek has purpose. The Rytek is basically, well, it is a Barrett 50 cal. You don't have to reload, so you don't have to cock the weapon every time you fire it. So if you do miss, it's a bit more forgiving. And you also have that one-hit headshot as well, now that they've patched that into the game. If it was just the base sniper rifle, then it would be it would probably be worse than that, but you do have more options with it. All those options are better than the car, not necessarily, but you do have other options in terms of vehicles. So the helicopter's flying around, 5 drops of that Rytek, and it's going down, it's exploding on impact. So I do think that has got more useful properties in that. And I just stick with the argument that people will say to me that, yeah, but you can use the car at close range. It's got really good handling properties. A sniper rifle doesn't need handling properties. The sniper rifle needs aiming stability and power. Otherwise, you might as well be using another marksman rifle. That's just how I see it. If you want to put a scope on a marksman rifle, put it on an ABR, put it on an SKS, put it on literally anything else. The fact that you've got to use an attachment slot for that sniper as well, for the scope, it's just a no-go. I really don't like it. I think in multiplayer, this is an A-grade weapon. Absolutely an A top-tier weapon in multiplayer. But no, it's not worth all the hassle. And like I say, you might as well be using literally anything else at that medium range. So that's just how I feel about that. The AN-94. This is a hard one. It does have potential. It's got like S tier potential, but it just, I don't know. If you're not tap firing it, it's weak. However, if you are tap firing it, it has got a super fast time to kill. So I am actually going to put it in A tier, but that is if you are tap firing it. If you're shooting it and then just letting it go in fully automatic mode, it is down here below the scarf. It absolutely is. However, if you're tap firing it, it goes up to here. So make sure you're using it in that tap fire mode, otherwise it might as well be further down the list. Next we have got the knife. I think the knife is a really handy asset. I think it's really good. I really enjoy having it. I enjoy having it more than a Renetti. So it is going to go, it's going to go up there because you can kill people super quick. And yeah, obviously in this slot you can use carry sticks as well, or those like dual jamrai swords, like things that you can use now, and that would be up here as well. So yeah, this is just where it lives for me. Next we have got the AMAX. I think the AMAX is currently one of the better assault rifles at the minute. I would quite confidently put that in A tier right now if you're using it within its range, and the fact that you can put the the M67 rounds on it, that makes it a really strong weapon as well. So if you use that, you've got a marksman rifle which does about 100 damage to the head, so it's not quite an EVR 168, but it's still doing, it can still basically drop someone's armor with a headshot if the conditions are right. Yeah, it's a really good gun and it uses the assault rifle ammo as well. If it didn't have the assault rifle ammo, it would be down here somewhere. It would be lower than the ABR on the SKS, but you have that marksman rifle damage profile, similar damage profiles, but you've got that as an assault rifle ammo as well. So it is higher than an EBR. It hurts me to say that, but the fact that it can convert into an assault rifle as well, that's the fact that it goes up there. M67 on its own, probably somewhere in here, but with the AMAX on its own, probably somewhere in here, but the fact that the gun can do both puts it in the S tier. Next is the Fennec. I get a lot of people questions about this Fennec and asking where it stands. People are like, well, yes, you use it at super close range. Now, when you use it at super close range, you do not have the range that the MP5, MP7, Bison does, but you can really drop people stupidly quickly if they're right up in your grill. However, that means you're now competing with the shotguns, if that's your effective range, and it's not as good as many of the shotguns in the game. And because of that, I think it is a really good pick, but I don't think it's a pick that's adequate enough, and as a result I would rather have the model up close than the Fennec, and they're both competing in the same area of the meta, up close in your face. That's where it goes in my opinion. Next we have got the Finn. Finn is a really good pick. Finn, it is near the top somewhere right now. If you put the adverse barrel on it, with the normal barrel it's nothing special, but with that adverse barrel it is a really good choice. It does go up here, it's a really good choice. Yeah, I know that people are not going to be liking the M41s up here, but look, at the end of the day, it's got them SOCOM rounds, and those SOCOM rounds are dropping people super quick. So before you kick off at us, remember that that's got the SOCOM in mind as well, and that literally has the fastest time to kill in the game right now without headshots. Next we have the ISO. I don't rate it. A lot of people in the A1A do. The fact that it starts with I think 20 or 25 bullets is absolutely crazy. It wants to be a P90 but has half its ammo, so it is going to live just in front of the pistols, and that's where that lives. So if you did enjoy this video, please make sure you let me know in the comment section below. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. Remember, this is an opinion piece and not everyone is going to like it, but you know, what do you agree with, what do you not, let me know. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing, and until then I will see you in the next one. Peace.